everybody. Thanks for joining today's showcase event. This is Madhu Gupta from Ithom Venture Partners. Ithom is a deep tech revenue accelerator based in Singapore. We are fortunate enough to have 70 plus startups in our portfolio and to receive support from the likes of Enterprise Singapore, Cyberport from Hong Kong, Microsoft, AWS, Oracle, Rackspace, and many more. Today, we will be presenting 15 deep tech startups that were onboarded for the Plugin US ASEAN January 2022 cohort. During the program, Ithom and its startups will be completely focused on acquiring customers, strengthening the pipeline, and growing the revenue. Presenting startups are from various geographies, such as UK, Hong Kong, Israel, USA, Spain, and Singapore, and sectors such as BFSI, advanced manufacturing, supply chain, sustainability, smart cities, gaming, and etc. We are pretty bullish about this cohort since multiple startups have raised or have annual revenue of more than 1 million in 2021. Some of the startups are serving giants such as DBS, Zara, IKEA, Nvidia, AI, Gap, Siemens, Vodafone, Cathay Pacific, Jabil, ASM, Deutsche Bank, and many more. Today's presentations are not very exhaustive. You will see the pre-recorded video pitches for 4 minutes and ask 1 or 2 questions. Please schedule deep dive if you want to explore mentoring or funding the startups or want to start pilots with them. We also prepared an FAQ and metrics document to ensure you can refer to it during and after the event. Please find the link in chat section. We also have a pretty fantastic and diverse jury today, which is going to score startups on various aspects such as product market fit, market size, differentiation, and investability. I'm sure they'll have a pretty difficult time scoring these highly curated startups. If you also want to score startups, then please feel free to do that using the link provided in the chat section. Hope you enjoy today's event and connect with the startups to explore synergies. Now, I'll request Pankaj to take the event forward. Thank you.
That was the high-octane intro from Madhu, and now I will request jury members to do a very quick 30 seconds introduction to talk about how they are involved in the startup ecosystem. I'll start with Stefan.
Yes, Pankaj, thank you very much, and a warm welcome to the audience as well. So my name is Stefan Schacher. I'm located here in Singapore. As you can see behind me is the beautiful innovation center that I'm running for Capgemini. So at Capgemini, we are a professional service and consulting company, and my daily job is one of the most fun jobs in the company, which is basically getting engaged with the outside ecosystem world of startups, of new emerging companies like you are. So I'm very much looking forward today to learn a lot of new technologies and a lot of new things that I have not heard before. And hopefully as well, I could take back some of the information that you guys provide me and maybe map you to the business problem statements from our enterprise clients, because this is my job within Capgemini, solve enterprise problem statements with new cool upcoming solution from startups. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Stefan. I hope you find some interesting startups today for your enterprise customers. Now I will request Sankalp to do a quick intro.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm Sankalp. I'm currently working with Kimberly Clark as a head of commercial for Asia Pacific. I was previously with Heinz as a managing director for South Asia business and the chief commercial officer for Asia. My passion towards startup started a year back almost, where we co-founded a startup in India. It's currently approaching its Series A funding. And apart from that, I've done certain amount of angel investing, and we have investments around 11 odd startups, aggregating investments of around $17 million together. Really looking forward to meeting and interacting and learning about what exactly is happening in this particular space. Absolutely, I think it'll be a fantastic experience to see what's happening and updating myself. Looking forward.
Really appreciate it. Mohit.
Hi everyone, and it's great to be here. And thanks Pankaj and Ithom for this opportunity. I'm based in Singapore, and I'm a partner with Roland Berger Management Consulting. And I work in the technology, media, and telecoms practice as part of my day job. During this, I come across a lot of partnership opportunities with my clients on the technology and telecom space, and I get the opportunity to interact with some of the more later stage startups and stalwarts in this field. So it's quite exciting to see some of the earlier stage of this ecosystem, and it's interesting to see what's on the horizon specifically for tech. I'm quite interested in the space of IoT and technology. IoT and technology relevant to telecoms. So that's on my professional side. On the personal side, I'm also a keen angel investor. I've invested in about six or seven startups in the past year. I'm part of a deep tech syndicate in India. So while we don't feature startups here from India, but that's also an interesting space back home where I come from. And my passion for startups goes back about 7-8 years, where I co-founded a restaurant chain back in Pune, in India, and we managed to sell it off at a decent valuation a few years ago. So being part of this ecosystem, and it's good to be here, and looking forward to interacting with you all. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Mohit. Really appreciate your time today. Let's move on to Sameer. Do we have Sameer?
Yes. Thanks, Pankaj. Thanks for inviting me out here. It's a pleasure to be part of this elite group of people who are going to be deciding on future of several startups that are going to be pitching in today. It's always an exciting part of this whole game where startups get the opportunity to share what they have. My background, I am the managing director for Codebase Technologies. Codebase Technologies is a open API banking software product company. We enable banks, mainly digital and Islamic conventional banks, to modernize their IT systems, to modernize, various aspects of banking. I'm very passionate about financial inclusion, payments, and so many other things. I've had the good fortune of working with or collaborating with Ethan and you, Pankaj, specifically. We have taken one of your cohorts or one of your companies that you brought to the table, and successfully at that, we're doing some work with them. So always passionate to drive, mentor, and take startups, at least in Asia Pacific, from wherever they might be in the world. So, my journey with startups has been since 2004, probably when I set up my own startup, and I, in a matter of 2 years, was able to sell that out, work with the company for a bit. I had the good fortune of walking that entire journey. Also have been part of several engagements with established companies where we've done both IPO, so the whole cycle of getting things done, which is really exciting, and which is what people need. And you're doing a great job, Pankaj. So, hats off to you. And I'm really looking forward to hearing. I've gone through some material that has been shared. It's exciting, and always willing to encourage the team out here. Thanks for letting me be a part of this.
Thanks a lot, Sameer, for the kind words. Okay, probably let's move on to Ranjit. Ranjit, please.
Yeah, hi. Thanks, Pankaj. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Pankaj, for inviting me to this wonderful event. I think just to provide you a little background, I currently work for Lenovo. I head the global financial services business in India. And in past, I have worked for Dell and HP. And along with that, in fact, I was involved in startup as angel investors. And in fact, I had set up my own company 2 years back, which is primarily into equity and debt financing solution. Now, after that, in fact, I had been actively investing in, startups primarily. So I have done 3 investments in the recent, say, actually, if I have to say, these are primarily into, not into deep technology. Actually, this is my first event primarily getting into a deep tech and understanding what exactly are the solutions that you guys are going to present, and see how I can really value add, provide the inputs, and as well as see if there's something interesting where I can guide, help, or help you raise funds.
Thanks a lot, Ranjit. It is important to have diverse, experts' viewpoint on the startups. But yeah, thanks again, jury members, for joining the event. I hope you have a lot of fun and difficulty in scoring startups in the next 2 hours. Now we will start the pitches. Just to remind everybody, there'll be 2 minutes long Q&A after 4 minutes long video pitches. Please ask questions in the chat or schedule 101 if you are not able to ask your questions here and you have some really burning questions. Obviously, please keep yourself muted if you are singing or skydiving or doing some other crazy things, okay? Let's go ahead and start with the first pitch, which is Power Arena, a Hong Kong-based startup, which is transforming the advanced manufacturing space in Asia and now expanding to North America. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Ken. I'm the CEO of Power Arena.
Hi, my name is Hao Man. I lead the sales in Power Arena.
And I'm Matthew. I lead business development in the United States.
So Power Arena is a deep learning video analytics platform for manufacturing operations. You may think this is how mobile phones are created. It's all machines, totally automated. In reality, it is a very labor-intensive process. In fact, overall, 70% of manufacturing work are still done by humans, and it is very difficult to manage these labor-intensive operations. That's why our customers are working with us, especially Wistron and Jabil. They are Fortune 500 companies, and they are the global top 5 in contract electronic manufacturing. So for them, they can just put a camera, connect it to our systems. We train up the AI, and then they can see results in real time. So our AI really understands the manufacturing operations, where people are picking things up, putting things down, and the time that it takes. Also, we protect the privacy of the worker, and we don't do any facial recognition.
There are different ways the data can be used. Power Arena provides 3 types of applications. The first application is called SOP Assistant. We track the key process steps in the standard operating procedure and making sure that they're getting things done. For example, to fasten the screw of the scooter, you should not do it by hand, and you must use the power tool. If an operator does it by hand, the product looks the same, but it has serious quality consequences. That's why in this scooter plan, we are doing in-process check for the key process step. If the key step is not performed, we will send an alert and notify that to customers' MES.
A second way to use the data is called the line balancing. So manufacturing work is organized on the assembly line one by one, but that means if one operation is slow, it slows down the whole line. So here, we want to see why this operation is taking more time than it should. And so we can click on it, and the AI highlights the problematic instances. For example, here, there are people doing maintenance work while other people are working. So by solving problems like this, that's how manufacturers can get better, and that's part of the lean manufacturing. So one of our customers, after they use Power Arena for 4 weeks, they improved their productivity by 5%. So for every $1 that they put in, they got $4 back.
And the third application is called downtime analysis, where we find out why the machine has a low productivity, or OEE. In many cases, a machine that has downtime is not due to a machine problem, but due to how the machine is being used. This is a tire manufacturing process, and we are tracking the time it takes for each step. We want to systematically find out why certain steps are taking more time than they should, as you can see here.
We started with electronic and automotive, and we'll extend to other markets in the future. A lot of our customers are coming from our partners, and we are actively recruiting more partners as well. For the business model, our customers can either purchase our machine with the software already installed, or they can buy the machine themselves and just subscribe to our software.
So we are a team from Stanford and Google. Ken and Matthew are Stanford alums. and Ken and Herman are ex-Googler before the IPO. Weiquan is responsible for our business in China and Taiwan. And we have offices in Hong Kong, Taiwan, China, and the US. And we already have deployments in 6 countries in Asia and soon 2 more in America. Thank you.
So that was Power Arena. Do we have questions for the founders, jury members?
I think it's interesting. Sorry, someone is saying something.
Go ahead.
Okay. I think it's an interesting proposition that you spoke about. Thank you for that. What exactly is the fundraise going to be providing or solving for?
So we want to raise a seed fund to 3 billion seed, and we want to expand our product and also our sales operation in China and US.
So if I'm correctly understanding, it's predominantly from a business development side, or is it like, is it for something else? Because I'm sure you have the technology, right? But is it predominantly on the business development side where you're looking at hiring, therefore you need fundings?
I would say half and half, because we want to expand the product to cater more new scenario as well. So when we're going into the new industry, like we started with electronic, when we go to the automotive industry, we need to expand our product to cater the use case over there.
Yeah, can I ask one more question if you don't mind?
Please go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and you don't worry about robotics, and you don't worry about automating this whole, the human intervention will eventually come down over a period of time. So maybe in 3 years down the line, in a couple of years down the line, do you worry about anything like this bothering your business?
Yeah, so right now 1 in 7 Asian, for example, are still working in manufacturing. So this space is actually a lot larger than a lot of people expect. And also, I think if the machine is out, the robotic arm is kind of like the hand, right? It's simply the eyes. So if the machine is coming out, Power Arena can position ourselves as kind of like the eyes for the machine, so that we can understand the environment, what to pick up, and if the material running out, we can notify the system, for example. So we can be the eyes for the robotics arms.
Okay, probably we can take one last question, and then we'll have to. Yep, go ahead, Steven.
Stefan here. How would you describe your uniqueness and competitor landscape?
I think this space is really early. So when we talk to our customers, most likely this is the first time that they hear something like this. We have competitors in the US, but we don't have time for this. But I think each of us, we position ourselves differently.
Fantastic. Thanks, everybody, for asking questions. Now we'll have to move on to Asia Bots, which is a Hong Kong-based startups helping BFSI and government sector with the omni-channel AI bots. And here we go.
Hi, everyone. I'm Chris from AsiaBot. AsiaBot is an artificial intelligence company. We work on customer services. The problem we are solving is to use AI technology to solve the problem and the difficulties that we are doing or having that in contact center. For example, the calls and how to make the people, make the staff to bring out a quality contact center service is very hard nowadays. And that's why we use AI to deal with that. With our technologies like ASR, NLP, TTS, and our voice support engine and automation digital human animation engine, we can create an omni-channels to serve all the customers in all channels, no matter it's online or offline. So we have also joined many accelerators and demonstrated our technologies to many parties, and we got recognized in many ways. We have clients in Hong Kong, for example, from many different industries. It is proven that our technologies do help them in daily life. Basically, we have 3 services. The first one is voice services. That is, we can use AI to call you by phone. And we have mobile services in chatbot. And also we have a product called AI Ambassador. They're able to serve you on site, face to face. So first of all, our AI Ambassador is a way that it's just like a robot, but it can can talk to you face to face as you talk to a robot. And right now it is used by government in Hong Kong, like Immigration Department and Custom and Exercises. And we have services like we can serve on buildings, which is very helpful and nice to do the automations. For example, this is a gateway to connect all the entrance and also to call the lift by registrations. And we have a lot of avatars which can become your company's branding avatar. More than that, we have AI chatbot. Our AI chatbot is Mighty One, which is able to connect to all channels. We call it omni-channels, which is like to, we can connect to WhatsApp, with Signals, and other kind of channels like web or app. We also, more than that, our chatbot is very friendly using and also able to fully customize. And we are working with many brands, especially some chatbot project we work for some government project which is require a very high level of accuracy. More than that, on chatbot, actually we also have a technology called bot classing. That is, we are able to send a message by chatbot in a short time and many people can receive it at the same time. More than that, the first items or product we are providing to our client is, we call it AI voice bot. AI voice bot is a voice AI that can serve you on telephone. For example, right now there are many users on the telephone, and no matter it is an inbound call or outbound call. For example, inbound call, they are using that to report fault. We call it fault call. And also we are having some SaaS model like notification call generator, which is able to help you to generate AI call by online services. And this is a back-end system, which is features and also power you to make your phone call by AI very smoothly and speedy. Other than that, we have AI IVR. That is an innovations that to change the old ways that using AI IVR, which is you need to go through a lot of process, but right now you can just talk it and then the robot can answer you and report to you. And also we have some backend system that to connect between AI and also contact center software. So in a nutshell, it is a centralized AI platform which able to serve in different channels. Thank you very much. We are Asia Bots.
Thanks to Chris for this quick pitch. Do we have questions for Chris?
Yeah, I'm keen to understand. AsiaBots is cutting across different industries. How are they collecting data? I mean, it's a huge set of data which will be involved in training the algorithm or the AI engine. I'm just trying to understand how much of work has been put in and what's the maturity of each element of this of the AI algorithms that they're using. If that can be answered or if that can be taken offline, I'm happy to understand that, just to understand the maturity of the bots.
Let's go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you for your questions. So basically, it's like this. Mostly, the industry we working as government. We start from medical, and then government, banking, and insurance. As you say, everyone has their own knowledge base. So our model actually is a combination of product plus customization. So in general, actually, our engine already can serve a lot of Q&A questions that what I say is in the layman way. But however, in different industry, for example, in medical, what we do is to enhance the engine to specify, to come up with the questions for that industry. So our services is what I say is a product plus customizations. So and the way we earn money is from the customizations.
We have a question from Mohit.
Yeah. No, conversational AI is it's not new, right? And there are very large firms, very well invested firms in this field who are doing very deep analysis already and are deployed in various forms. And when I look at your portfolio, it's also, I feel it's spread quite thin. So how do you plan to differentiate, like which part are you most focused on, and how do you plan to fight against like big guys who are already unicorns? I find that difficult to understand.
Oh, thank you for your question. Actually, our position is different. We understand that there are very big companies. They even have better technologies and and sales channel, something like that. And what we do actually is we separate into two levels. One is we work closely with the big enterprise. Actually, many enterprise, actually international one, they are satisfied with our services, and then we work with them closely for projects. However, we also have some model that's especially for SMEs, that is in a kind of SaaS services.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we separate by two different levels.
Thanks a lot, Chris. We'll have to move on to the next presentation, which is Velotix. It is again very exciting for the BFSI enthusiast from Israel. Here we go.
Hi, everybody. Pleasure to be here. My name is Dr. Adi Hod. My prime expertise is data science, and I co-founded Velotix a little bit over a year ago, and we provide real-time secure access to data lakes and warehouses. The main challenge that we solve is the problem with the current access control system, which is the ABAC or the RBAC. They are too passive, they are inflexible, they're either too permissive or too restrictive, and of course, it's difficult to comply with organization policy like privacy, security, regulation, and best practices. And therefore, we register a patent that enable self-service, real-time, and secure access to data based on policy builder, and policy enforcement. We surrounded this engine with several important functionality that enable the enforcement of the engine. For example, a proxy that enable the meshing of the data, so mesh the data without duplication or transfer. We provide an alternative to a data catalog, ability to de-identification of data, and data lineage in order to monitor and control, which is necessary for audit processes. Here is the concept of the system. On the top left-hand side is the data users. Usually they will ask to gain access to data for transfer, for analysis, for buy or sell or share data. Sometimes they will use it from BI tools, sometimes directly, and they will go through, and Velotix will orchestrate the entire process by using the policy-based engine. We build the policy catalog based on initial information, knowledge, and interaction with the people, with the approvers and the compliance manager. So the policy is dynamic, and we learn from the people in order to ensure an accurate policy. The policy enforcement will use the other functionalities in the solution in order to ensure a full orchestration from the lakes to the users. Main value proposition, we're talking about data democratization. No more DBA or IT autocracy. We provide a self-service, real-time data access with focus on real-time data to people and not people to data. And of course, building cybernetically by interacting with the people, building the policy catalog of the organization, which, as I said, comprises with organization policy, with regulations, with best practices, and ability to enforce this policy on data access. We developed the product together with Deutsche Bank as our design partner, and we already have several beta customers. The main go-to-market would be through cloud providers and partners. We engage with Google, with Microsoft, and few other key players in the market. I'm the CEO of the company, and together with Adam Muriel, we founded Velotix, as I said, a little bit over a year ago. We all experienced entrepreneurs with previous experience and exits. We currently have a team of 15 people, highly skilled in technology, data, and enterprise software, all backed with an amazing and strong board of directors from leading companies in the world like Deutsche Bank and Google. Velotix raised seed capital at the beginning of the journey. We're currently seeking a pre-A round investment together with additional beta customer, especially in Asia. And thank you very much for listening.
Okay, questions for Velotix?
Yeah, I just want to check, have you invested? What kind of investment you have done? And then since you have mentioned there is revenue expected of 600K, how do you see that? Have you started, getting some revenue? Do you have an existing customer? You have done a POC?
So happy to answer that. Thank you very much for your question, and thank you very much for all the participants to being here. To answer your question, so basically, yes, we actually are now engaging with one local, one of the leading insurance companies out of Tel Aviv to become our beta customer. And of course, we have a confirmation from Deutsche Bank, our design partner, with whom we've done a POC last year. We got confirmation to go into production later on this year. And we are in discussions with 2 Canadian banks as well to start working on as beta customers. So taking into consideration the pricing model for beta customers, yes, this is something that we plan to achieve till the end of the year, the 600K. In terms of investment, so basically, I don't know if I understood your question correctly, but I mean, yeah, we raised around $3 million from private investors and are now in already some advanced due diligence processes for the 5 million pre-A round that we hope to conclude. Obviously, we are still open to VC funds or investors that would like to join us. I hope that this answered your question.
Okay, another question.
Yeah, Stephanie, hi. How do you differentiate yourself to zero trust initiatives that I see quite a lot in the market at the moment, also in terms of like traceability for the access control that you're providing?
So how we see that, I mean, the heart of Velotix is, of course, the building of the policy catalog, right? So we know that today the methods that are being used are quite limited. People are using the role-based access control model or the attributed-based access control model, which is quite limited in terms of dynamic regulatory changes to it, people changing from rules, from countries, people working from home. So it's very difficult with those methods to control the access. And with our way, we can have a full end-to-end capture of what's happening with the data, when the data is used, who's using it, and why is using it as well. And this is an amazing way of having a full audit trail. I'd love to connect with you and with any one of you that has more questions about Velotix offline to continue the discussion. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Uriel. We'll have to move on to Faraday, which is a UK-based company fighting for energy management and sustainability for Earth.
Hi, my name's Edward and I'm the Global Sales Director at Faraday. And we help enterprises take a data-driven approach to achieving their net zero goals. We help all those across a business, from sustainability managers to CFOs managing investors to the facilities teams operating the sites. And many of these individuals are struggling. They're gathering data manually across their businesses and storing it in spreadsheets and having to produce reports and calculate their carbon footprint manually. They're risking human error, data loss, and it's time consuming. But even worse, they're not getting the insights from their data that they need. This is where Faraday help gather and analyze your data more efficiently, accurately, and securely, and allow you to gain that clarity, as well as help you build a clear and transparent process to achieve your goals. By integrating with existing systems, we can automate data collection. We can install additional IoT devices to make collection even easier, or we collect manual data. All information is securely stored on our cloud, where it's converted to CO2 equivalent and is then visible on one single platform. All of your targets are tracked in the platform and can be converted into step-by-step action plans. And detailed reports provide relevant information to keep your different stakeholders engaged. Many portfolios have a range of different building management systems and controls, but we are completely system agnostic. And we have an extensive library of the previous integrations, meaning that we've probably integrated with your system before. So when it comes to setup, things are quick and straightforward. We would love you to get in touch with us so we can walk you through our demo and understand how we can help you reach your net zero goals. Many portfolios are extracting some granular data. However, without pulling it all together on a single platform and using AI analysis, it's really difficult to truly optimize the performance of your portfolio and drive forward. We are already working with over 100 global brands like IKEA, M&S, BNP Paribas, Vodafone and Shell, and collecting data from 12,000 facilities in 15 different countries. We've received many accolades, including Microsoft CEO announcing us as one of the most impactful AI and IoT startups for smart energy and sustainability. We know that getting the most out of a new software can take time, but we make it easy with a dedicated customer success team and sector experts to ensure you see a return on your investment right from the start. It was through their corporate careers at Siemens, Mitsubishi and IBM that our founders felt there must be a better way to extract data from buildings and analyze it to deliver positive change. Faraday received $500,000 pre-seed funding from Capria Ventures and IFC in 2017. Today, we're growing fast. We're working closely with our strategic partners, Oracle, Cisco, and ISS, and we're shifting our current brands from local to global, as well as directing our marketing towards new enterprises. We're continuing to develop our product and looking to integrate additional features around compliance using the blockchain. We're looking to close our pre-Series A of $1.7 million and require an additional $400,000 that we hope to secure by March. Thank you all very much for listening. I really hope that we can start working together soon.
Okay, questions for Team Faraday?
I think I have a couple of them, but I think I'll just connect separately with you to understand a few more details. Yeah.
That was great.
Rajit?
Yeah, hi. Just wanted to understand your burn rate, 70K, what you have mentioned in the FAQ. How did you arrive at that? And then you have also mentioned about...
Could you repeat that question? Say again, please.
Your burn rate per month. How did you arrive at that burn rate per month? 70K burn rate per month, which you have mentioned.
Yeah. Okay. The exact details I can send you. I'm the sales director here, so I've joined to lead the UK team. So I've been in post for 4 or 5 weeks now. So I'll be able to get the exact details of that across to you.
Or you can take that question offline, Edward, because
yeah,
burn rate is something that we can talk, in one-on-one sessions. Okay. Again, if you have more questions, please feel free to put them in the chat, and the startup founders will love to answer your questions. I think we should move on to the next presentation, which is Simpler, a supply chain startup from Singapore. And here we go.
Hi, I'm Ramas. I'm a serial entrepreneur and I co-founded Simpler Solutions. Using our intuitive mobility solutions, we make supply chain simple. Distribution-intensive industries like FMCG, consumer pharma gets orders from different channels, digital, physical channels, and the orders are stored in different systems. So the order fulfillment is very complex. They have a huge distribution network, which could be 5 to 10 levels depending on the geography. They need real-time granular data to optimize the whole supply chain. They have a large field force. If it is not automated, it has a low productivity, lot of human errors, which means there will be a lot of out-of-stock situations in outlets, which results in a missed sales.
Hi, I'm Krisik Tiben, Country Manager for Simpler Philippines. Worked for almost 31 years with Unilever in senior leadership roles in distribution management. The market opportunity for distribution management is estimated to be 7 billion by 2023, of which simpler addressable market is at 2.3 billion. Warehouse automation and fulfillment is estimated to be at 20 billion by 2022, of which simpler addressable market is estimated to be at 6 billion. Across APAC, consumers buy from 30 million outlets. CPG companies could only cover 10 to 25% of these outlets because of volume and cost to serve. To address this concern, only automation can increase the coverage and reduce the cost to serve per outlet.
Hi, I'm Ramanand, co-founder and CEO of Simpler Solution, having 25 years of experience in providing mobility solutions to enterprises. Our offerings, our distribution management solution consists of multi-channel order management and execution, field force enablement for pre-sales, van sales, merchandising, vending machines. Distributor management system integrates the entire distribution network into a single tight-knit efficient unit. Our warehouse management system helps to automate all warehouse operations and last mile delivery. Unique differentiators: easy to use native mobile applications. Future is enhanced by our 20 plus years of domain expertise. AI and machine learning technologies for functionalities like voice ordering system, smart basket, route planning, planogram checking, etc. We infuse augmented reality and virtual reality into our applications for features like virtual warehousing, modification of existing UI or functionalities, or adding new UI or functions can be achieved by configuration.
Hi, my name is Robin Chow, Head of Sales in Simpler. Simpler has been doing business in Southeast Asia region. We are also a pre-approved vendor working with Singapore government to assist local SME in digital transformation. Our go-to-market approach has been two-pronged: direct, indirect, partnering with software and hardware solution provider. Recently, we have been entrusted with 2 enterprise projects that will propel our deployment footprint to North Asia, Middle East, Europe, North America sites in the next 6 months. These are some of our happy customers that we are serving in the region. Don't just hear from us, these are also some of our customers' testimonials.
And Simpler make all impossible become possible. Because of Simpler, for the past 48 months, most of our key accounts with 100% stock accuracy.
Questions for Team Simpler? Mohit?
Hi, so the revenue you mentioned is revenue or GMV? How does it work? The 2 million that you're mentioning.
2 million is the revenue actually for the 2022 actually. 2 million.
It's the actual revenue you bill. It's not the merchandise that you're moving.
No, it's actual revenue we bill actually.
And are you working with e-commerce principals as well? E-commerce players?
We are not working with the e-commerce principal, but what we have is we have interface with the marketplaces. So the customers, our customers will be using their own e-commerce as well as they will be listing in the marketplaces actually. Hello.
Hello, it's breaking off. Sorry. Yeah. Wait. I will connect with you offline.
Yeah. Sure.
In Singapore, right? So.
Yep.
Any other question?
Yeah, I think just a little bit of curiosity. You mentioned that you are covering and targeting Southeast Asia market, right? Southeast Asia is going through a massive transformation where it's looking at optimizing its distribution of long tail stores and coverage and moving towards e-com, predominantly dialing the C2C model of e-com, right? So all the things that you mentioned about DMS, SFA, or for instance about route optimization is all targeted towards this long tail. And there is Newspage who does this, and there are lots of fragmented players. How do you see yourself competing against this changing environment?
I think, yeah, it's a good question actually. One is, I think the differentiation what we see is being our agility, and since we are mobile natively thing, it giving agility to our customers to deploy it faster. And to address this traditional stores, we are also kind of giving an app to the traditional stores where it could be a combination where apart from the Salesforce, the stores could directly order actually like that.
Okay, I understand, but I think a very close friend of mine, the founder of Ninja Van, is basically looking at also starting something similar on similar lines, right? From covering the last mile of the this thing. So I'm just maybe I think I'll connect separately to understand this a little better from a business modeling perspective.
Yeah, we'll be happy to get your inputs also. You've been a leader in supply chain. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Sankalp, and thanks, Ramos. Let's hear it from Anilog, a California-based startup transforming the edge computing space. And let's go.
Hi, my name is Moshe Shadman, and I'm the founder and CEO of Anilog. Anilog is an IoT infrastructure software, and more specifically, Anilog is a decentralized network to manage IoT data. It is a platform that overcomes the challenges that companies are facing when they need to transform the huge amounts of data that is generated by IoT sensors to meaningful insight. In a single sentence, Anilog transforms the edge to a self-managed data lake supporting live, real-time, interactive queries. This approach is an opportunity that can change the way companies interact with IoT data. Let's talk on how IoT data is managed today. This diagram shows the Microsoft reference architecture for IoT data. Data is generated at the edge of the network and brought to the cloud through multiple tiers for processing. Why do companies work this way? The answer is that they have no other choice. Companies are forced to move the data to the cloud for two reasons. The first reason is that the application requires that the data is hosted in a database in a single location. The second reason is operational. Companies do not have the resources to manage the data in many locations at the edge. It would require efforts and resources that they do not have. Therefore, companies have no choice other than bring the data to the cloud. However, there are enormous amounts of data at the edge, and moving the huge amounts of data from the edge to the cloud is very problematic. First, moving the data to the cloud does not support real-time. For example, one of our partners integrated Anilog into his product to allow real-time AI in oil and gas manufacturing processes to control the production line. This is not doable if the data is moved to the cloud. The second reason is cost. First, companies need to capture the data at the edge. As you have seen in the Microsoft reference architecture, this is not a simple task. The second cost component is when the data is serviced by the cloud. Managing huge volumes of data in the cloud using cloud services is very expensive. Let's summarize how current solutions work and explain how Anilog overcomes the challenges that we mentioned. With current solutions, data is moved from the devices at the edge, which you could see on the left side, all the way to the cloud at the right side of the diagram. Anilog is a software agent that is installed on edge nodes. The software knows how to manage the data on the edge nodes and is able to do that in a completely automated way. With this setup, the data can remain on the edge nodes and does not need to be moved to the cloud. These nodes with the Anilog software form a network such that when applications needs the data, it is connected. The applications are connected to one of the nodes in the network, and this node is able to identify where the needed data resides and serve the data to the application directly from the edge nodes that host the data. With this approach, we remove the dependency on the cloud, service the data in real time, and lower the costs. As of today, there are no data services at the edge, which are similar to what the cloud is able to offer. The opportunity with Anilog allows to bridge the gap and provide 100% automation in managing data at the edge. The current status is that we were asked by the Linux Foundation to provide a community version of AnyLog that would be part of the Linux distribution package for the Edge. This opportunity would provide huge exposure to AnyLog. We are currently involved with 10 POC projects. Some are with the world's largest technology providers. This would lead to distribution agreements and potential deployments of AnyLog in hundreds of thousands of Edge nodes. We are currently raising funds to scale the company to deliver and support AnyLog in the Linux distribution and support the integration processes. Thank you very much.
Okay, do we have questions for Moshe? Go ahead, Mohit.
Yeah, just curious, like, how is this not going to be native to a Huawei or a ZTE regional edge or MEC deployment in the next 2 years? This capability, or built natively by any large IoT service provider who's building transversal solutions like Siemens or any industrial IoT solutions here?
Yeah, there is a very unique technology underneath. We've got granted patent on the technology. It's many years of experience. As you know, managing data at the edge is not simple. The truth is, or if you look at what's happening today, companies move the data to the cloud. And the reason is that there are no technologies that could deal with massive amounts of data which is distributed all over the place. And our technology overcomes the technical challenges that are not simple.
I was just looking through your website. I'll go through the white papers, but I'm not entirely convinced.
Well, what I could tell you, the way I could convince you, or maybe, okay, I could try. I mean, it's not about convincing. But what I could tell you is, my previous company, I was a founder of a database company called ScaleDB. ScaleDB was merged into OSIsoft. I don't know how many of you know. This is probably the biggest provider for backend software for IoT. Until 5 months ago, it was a multi-billion-dollar acquisition by Aviva. But anyways, they got interested in ScaleDB because of the technology that we showed them, which was focused on those types of problems. Those are very complicated problems, and there are no solutions in the market. It's very unique technology. We've got patent. I'll be happy to share more details and show you the depth of the technology and why we're able to deal with those types of problems and why those problems are not being addressed by current solutions.
One will be very exciting and important. So let's take that offline. But yeah, let's move on to Optiways, an Israeli startup using AI ML for supply chain disruption.
As markets continue to evolve, logistical operations are forced to deal with increasing complexity. Organizations are constantly seeking ways to optimize their logistics, improve their efficiency, and minimize costs. While multiple solutions have managed to tackle last-mile delivery, the first and middle mile of delivery remain too complex to support, which is why most organizations continue to manage them manually. A typical distribution process involves multiple depots, different customer types, diversified fleets, and dozens upon dozens of business rules, operational constraints, routing rules, and cost models, all of which need to be optimized together. In reality, this is simply too complex for existing optimization solutions. Mega corporations such as Amazon, UPS, or Walmart may develop their own in-house solutions, but for the average business, this is simply out of budget. That's why we've developed Optiways, an AI-powered next-generation solution for optimizing supply chain routes, targeting first and middle-mile distribution. Our breakthrough technology enables customers to optimize and automate their complex route planning processes, leading to superior operational and financial efficiency. Optiways' unique computational approach utilizes multiple processing algorithms in parallel, as well as multiple distribution strategies, delivering the best performing strategy for each and every distribution workflow. Our optimization engine runs transparently in the background, with no need for you to replace existing operational system and no need for staff training.
Until now, the mathematical challenge of complex distribution processes has been beyond the power of existing algorithms. To overcome this challenge, we've had to invent an entirely new algorithmic approach, which is to use multiple algorithms in parallel and apply multiple distribution strategies. For this purpose, we built an optimization platform from the ground up with an embedded business rule engine, workflow engine, and AI-powered prediction engine, which allows us to predict dynamic data such as traffic and drop time for each distribution point.
With OptiWays, you'll enjoy fully optimized and automated route planning. Make the most of your existing vehicle capacity, cut down on fleet usage, and scale up your ever-changing business with ease.
The platform we have developed has the capacity to not only support complex distribution processes like no other solution, but also to produce dramatic cost savings. Our customers benefit from fully automated route planning with savings of up to 20% in distribution costs, and that's just on the cost side. With accurate forecasting and a sustainable automation-based operation, our customers also increase sales while reducing stockouts and improving the service experience. The complexity of distribution certainly presented challenges, but with the right technology in place, it becomes a powerful competitive advantage.
You'll save up to 20% in delivery costs and save on manual labor costs. This means that an organization with 100 trucks, for example, can save over $2 million a year and achieve return on investment from day one. But it also means cutting fuel consumption and emissions and boosting sales. Through accurate forecasting, effective scheduling, and automation, OptiWays helps you to reduce stockouts, improve service experience and traction, and maintain a sustainable, smooth-running operation, thus turning logistical complexity into a competitive advantage. For more information, visit us today.
That was OptiWays. Do we have questions for OptiWays?
Sorry, just a clarification so that I understand this better. So you mentioned that it's predominantly a technology support system, or is it also making sure that you're taking care of the last mile deliveries as well by some tie-ups?
We can, but mostly we focus on first and middle mile deliveries. And this is the main challenge because there are many solutions for last mile deliveries, tens of them actually. But when it comes to first and middle mile deliveries, which is the B2B use case from the warehouse to the store, this is mostly done manually. And this is where we focus, automate those manual processes.
And your target is predominantly the small and medium enterprises, or is it like the large corporations?
Large enterprises mostly. It can be medium enterprises. Any enterprise with, let's say, 20 trucks up to more than 20 trucks. So it can start from small, medium enterprises, but we're aiming to large enterprises. And whenever it's more complicated and complex, this is where we want to be.
Because most of the large corporations, the one that I work for or the one that I previously worked for, are all having this integrated into their system and supply chain when it comes to the B2B or primary freight. So how do you plan to compete versus them? Because in-house is always preferred, and it's one-time capex that you invest behind a technology and just keep doing the enhancements.
We don't want to compete with existing systems. Most of the, at least large organizations own some kind of TMS system, transport management system. Most of this system has embedded optimization engine. Nobody uses it. So we just replacing the optimization part, integrating with the existing system. You don't need to train new staff to work with other system. So it's not a competition with the current system. It's just additional solution that integrates behind the scene and upload the results into the operational system so the staff can continue working with the same system.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Elad and Sankalp. I think we need to have one-on-one on this as well. But yeah, you probably see a poll on your screen. Please answer to the question as soon as possible. And then the next presentation is from Visor. If you are a senior leader managing hundreds of team members and really hate the performance management, are concerned about the employee engagement, then you will love vSOAR. And here we go.
Hello, let me introduce you to vSOAR, the first fully conversational performance management and employee engagement system in the world. But before I tell you about our innovation, let me tell you about the problem that we are addressing here. The traditional performance reviews are not only ineffective, but also extremely expensive. We estimate it costs a US organization $500,000 for every 1,000 employees just to start the process.
At the same time, disengagement is a huge problem, most recently manifesting as the Great Resignation. This disengagement costs the economy billions of dollars, and an overwhelming % of employees believe that the line manager is ineffective. When we work, we save our information in different platforms. Also, our processes are very cumbersome. This makes work complex and employees feel overwhelmed. If you thought HR processes were outdated, you're absolutely right.
We're solving the problems of traditional performance management in an intuitive, personalized, and elegant way. The solution is incredible in the way it addresses collaboration and interdependencies, which are the key to high performance in modern organizations. Delivered in the flow of work, it also reduces the time taken to document the feedback substantially. Let us show you how.
I am proud to introduce to you Conversations, a revolutionary chat-based performance management system. vSOAR is built as an extension of the Microsoft product suite and will soon be available in Teams as well. As a partner and customer of vSOAR, I can say that the platform is solving some very important real-life pain points.
Let me show you how it works. As you can see here, you can collaborate, update goals, and manage performance all from a single screen. We use @ to tag collaborators and hashtag to update goals. Our solution makes working agile and enhances engagement.
Behind Conversations is a fully integrated performance management system, which provides unmatched people analytics. At the same time, our AI uses Conversations to provide personal recommendations to managers and also to employees to enhance performance.
Complementing performance management is our suite of 11 different types of surveys that measure employee experience throughout the employee lifecycle journey.
The vSOAR platform is quite flexible, has amazing amount of questions which can be tailored to client needs. They're very, very consultative in their approach, means that clients' requirements comes first. It's not the platform that matters, but it's a requirement that is critical.
The most amazing thing for me for the vSOAR platform is the simplicity of the system without compromising on the robustness of the processes. We have recently implemented the performance management solution for one of my clients, and the overwhelming feedback that we have received is that the system is really easy to use.
At vSOAR, our ambition is to solve the complex problems related to productivity and engagement using AI. We aspire to be one of the largest users of AI in HR and change the way people management is conducted. I am very excited by the challenges we have undertaken, and our 36-point AI roadmap will make life easier for our clients while providing invaluable predictive analytics to make high-quality decisions.
We have seen tremendous word-of-mouth publicity, and whoever has seen this product has described it as a painkiller, even saying that they should have had this product many years ago.
If you believe in our mission, come and join vSOAR. Thank you.
Okay, that was vSOAR. Do we have questions for Nishit or Shadi?
I think I'll connect with Nishit separately because I want to understand exactly on the revenue part, how what's the revenue that you have generated so far? How are you planning to grow it, and what's the dilution plan?
Fantastic, Ranjit. Thanks. Go ahead. Okay.
Sure, Ranjit, I'll connect with you. Or are you looking for an answer now?
No, we can meet up later.
Sure.
That'll be a long answer. Okay, any other quick question?
Yeah, Stefan here. My question is, do you replace the entire performance review process, or are you plugging in and providing basically the frameworks around and the engagement points for the employees or the managers? Where's your sweet spot?
So what we do is replace the performance management systems, the legacy performance management systems that organizations use, which is basically a goal setting, mid-year and annual appraisal. And we replace that with a continuous real-time performance assessment process, and also a system of regular feedback so that people don't have to wait for the end of the year to know how they've done and basically to hear where they could have improved. And engagement is something which is separate but very closely related. So we would also kind of get the data from engagement and performance to talk to each other and give the insights to the organizations on both counts, because engagement is a leading indicator of performance. So both of them go hand in hand.
What stops from a Workday or a SAP SuccessFactors for extending the same thing which already has a certain amount of large user base? So you don't worry about that?
No, we would look at it as a collaboration or a kind of extension rather than a competition with Workday or SuccessFactors or Oracle. So one, these systems are legacy and they take enormously long to change. I've been a user of these legacy systems for 15 years. So it takes enormously long for these systems to kind of keep pace with time. But the second thing is we need these systems to sit on top of them. We don't replace an Oracle or a Workday or a SuccessFactors. We sit on top of that as a layer and add value to the organization as a specific point solution. So we don't compete with them and we don't need to replace them. We just sit on top of them.
Okay, fantastic. I think we'll have to move on to the next presentation. Ipcity Network, they are doing some miracles when it comes to monetize the data without worrying about GDPR, PDPA, and other compliances. Hear it out.
Hi, I'm Bill.
Hi, I'm Jens.
Hi, I'm Amrit.
We're Ipcity Network. We help data owners and operators monetize their data without breaching privacy. Many companies want to work together to generate more business opportunities, but don't really want to share the customer information. This can be because of business reasons to protect the client data, trade secrets, or regulatory limitations such as GDPR, CCPA, or PDPA. Ipcity Network's B2B solution allows multiple companies to work with each other's data without actually sharing the underlying data. We act as a neutral third party, enabling multiple companies to deposit encrypted sensitive information and generate business reports using the encrypted data without first decrypting it. None of the companies, including Ipcity Network, can see any of the sensitive information from the other companies. So essentially, we're doing data analytics with encrypted data.
Let's say two companies are looking to partner with each other to do crossover marketing. Company A's customer list is to the left and Company B's customer list is to the right. A virtual clean room is now created by Ipcity Network, where both companies can deposit their respective customer lists in encrypted form. Using the virtual clean room, the companies can now quickly find out whether there are any synergies by generating a report showing how many % common customers there are. As the companies roll out the joint marketing program, they can use the same report function in Ipcity Network to measure the effectiveness of their marketing campaign. This is done by reporting the incremental increase of new customers from the crossover marketing program. One of our partners is a flavor research company in Europe that sells their services to global beverage companies and ice cream producers. Through this, the flavor research company has built up an email database of customers with specific taste preferences. Now, the flavor research company wants to offer smaller food manufacturers the possibility to purchase targeting marketing to these potential customers with specific tastes without disclosing who they are, and at the same time get paid based on the success of the marketing. Our virtual clean room allows them to create a report covering common customers and any new customers without sharing customer data or the respective customer lists. Using the Ipcity virtual clean room, the flavor research company can measure the effectiveness of the marketing campaign and get paid based on the actual incremental customer increase among their new B2B customers. This can be done without sharing customer data, which is arguably the most valuable and sensitive asset of the flavor research company. The beauty of the Ipcity virtual clean room is the networking effect that is built into the product. Our solution enables collaboration between companies, so the B2B customers of the flavor research company can in turn bring in their partners, and their partners will bring in their partners' partners. This helps Ipcity Network grow quickly in an organic way.
The market size of the data protection market is expected to grow to about 200 billion by 2026. The market size of the data masking market is expected to grow to 700 billion by 2024. We are looking to make 1.5 million over the next 18 months through organic growth with strategic partners and developing new sales channels. We're using SaaS as our business model. Our revenue model is monthly subscription fee for accessing our admin portal and a per transaction fee. We have started to build some strategic partnerships. We have MOUs in place with these companies. Our management team has combined over 70 years of experience in technology, management consulting, and running our own business. We're looking for help with opening doors to companies whose major asset is their customer database, and their revenue is to monetize the database. We will also like to work with leading marketing agencies. Are you a company that want to co-brand to find new channels of business? Then you need our solution. We are offering the first 50 companies to sign up a free trial to our beta version, and for the 40 after that to join our pilot program with a money-back guarantee. Contact us now.
Money-back guarantee, I like that confidence. Okay, do we have questions?
Have you looked at in mediating between telecoms and banks?
We would love to have an opportunity to work with any companies who are seeking to partner with any other kind of companies, because I think the solution is actually built for companies who has a list of high value assets that they don't want to share with other companies, but want to work with other companies to basically come up with additional value added services.
And so have you looked at telecoms and banks?
We haven't had an opportunity yet, but we would love to, yes.
Because telecom data is, banks want to use that for credit rating.
Yes.
The issue is not so much data sharing, the issue is regulations.
Yeah, so
how do you solve for that?
So the virtual clean room is designed so that no data is actually shared between the two companies. So, I mean, obviously we need to work with the regulators, but the product is designed to address this type of problems.
Have you worked with regulators in some markets?
We have started to reach out to regulators in Europe. We just signed up a strategic partner who is representing us to open the market, and one of the partner over there basically work closely with different regions of different local regulators out in Europe.
If you solve for the regulatory thing, you would have a highway in front of you. Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry.
If you solve for the regulatory thing, you'll have a highway in front of you.
Yes, definitely. And I think regulators want to enable their business so that they are not handcuffed to compete with other businesses. But at the same time, they want the regulation to work in the business world. So, so for us to be able to, talk to regulators and enable them would actually be very helpful for regulators enabling their local businesses.
Okay, thanks a lot, Bill and Mohit. We'll have to move on to the next presentation, Spico. If you are in multiplayer gaming and you hate abusive interactions, then you will love Spico.
Spico is a voice-based machine learning software as a service. Our software performs speech analysis of an emotional state, flags distress levels, as well as provides advanced speech and audio signal analytics, and valuable emotional insights. The idea behind Spico was formed in 2019 during the Hong Kong protests. Students who were once bubbly and energetic started to become anxious. Teachers noticed concerning changes in some of their students. They were becoming withdrawn, disengaged, and in some cases even depressed. Teachers were voicing their concerns, but school counselors and administration were overwhelmed. The situation was amplified with the beginning of the global pandemic. The schools were forced to close, and students in Hong Kong and around the world began their online learning journey. Recordings of live sessions were shared with counselors, with the emphasis being placed on it is not what the child is saying, it is how they're saying it. Upon listening to the recordings, a unanimous decision was made: this child needs extra support. We understood that by using machine learning, we could scalably help thousands of students. Initially, Speako created a platform to detect signs of distress and safeguarding issues, allowing schools to implement measures to mitigate them for the betterment of their mental well-being and academic performance. Our technology has been validated in international schools in Hong Kong, Singapore, and South Africa since May 2021 and generated its first revenue. While scaling in the education market, interest was shown by a wide variety of business sectors, who were interested in using our technology through our API. This provided us with the possibility to reach companies with thousands of existing users, and for them, an opportunity to enhance their own product through the use of Speako's cutting-edge technology, generating brand new insights on their product and their customers. Interest from gaming companies soon followed, and we realized the market potential in this area was large enough to become our main focus. Several gaming companies were interested in whether our technology can be used to detect toxic behavior in multiplayer games. Player toxicity such as misogyny, racism, sexual grooming, violent language, and cyberbullying is eroding gaming communities and harming the reputation of studios. Toxicity is a major problem being faced by the gaming community, and gamers want studios to tackle this issue head-on. They want to see a change. Unity has reported that 92% of players think solutions should be implemented and enforced to reduce toxic behavior in multiplayer games. Addressing toxic behaviors in online gaming is an essential issue in an especially huge and growing industry, one that grossed $180.3 billion in global revenue in just 2021. With the predicted annual growth rate of 14.5% of the gaming industry, loss of revenues due to toxic behavior, and significant investments in the metaverse, we chose gaming as our initial focus. No one is going to spend time in the metaverse, which will be as toxic as online comment sections. We developed a toxicity detection product for multiplayer games and chats, which is offered as a REST API. The core Speako technology is used to analyze multiplayer game conversations with highly reliable results, compared to any other currently existing methods. The tricky part of any competitive arena is finding the balance between friendly trash talk and harmful harassment. Our technology can identify if someone is using expletives or other language in a friendly manner among friends, or if they are displaying toxic behavior towards strangers. We understand the difference between gameplay and toxicity. In gaming, context matters. Speako extracts over 70 high-level, mid-level, and low-level audio and speech features, and detects temporal changes in speech. We use proprietary supervised and unsupervised machine learning models, word choice analysis, and emotion classification from text. The technology was built to be GDPR compliant from the very beginning. Furthermore, we are integrating blockchain technology to create an audit trail to give users unprecedented confidence in our transparent GDPR practices. Our team has proven traction in fundraising, legal, finance, natural language processing, machine learning, and child development. We are supported by Cyberport Hong Kong, Finity Blockchain Foundation, and angel investors from Facebook, Jefferies, Forever 21, and Block One.
Okay, questions for Speako?
Conceptually, I like this. I really like the positioning. I'm not able to, I probably think that I would love to understand the difference between Modulate and, the other players in this competitive space. And just purely from gaming, I'd like to just understand a little more about other use cases because in my mind, there are quite a few. I'd like to take this conversation offline, surely.
Thank you for this question. So Modulate, exactly as you mentioned, so this is the main difference, that they would be actually focused on gaming only. And we actually build our API to be quite generic. So you can actually almost plug and play different models depending on your use case. And toxicity and other subsections of toxicity, so for example, like identity threat or hate threats and things like that, would be actually sub-models in it. So it's just like our focus is much wider, and Modulate would be just very much focused on gaming.
Perfect. So I'd like to take this conversation offline too. There are some questions around communication per se, and we could have a good offline discussion on this. But this is good. This is good.
Thank you. I'm looking forward.
Go ahead, Sankalp.
What is the fundraise oriented towards?
So we really need to hire sales and partnership functions. So this is the main focus. Like now our tech is production ready, so we actually really want to hit the sales. So that's the main focus. And of course, as with every AI product, you need more data engineers and you need more engineers in general. So that's another aspect which we need to cover.
Okay, I think it will be similar to what Samir mentioned. I think it will be interesting for us to learn a little bit more and then just to understand a little bit from a revenue standpoint, from a margin standpoint, so that we get a little better clarity on this.
Yeah, sure. Happy to. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Sankalp, Samir, and Petra. Next is pretty relaxed presentation from ShipNext, and here we go.
Good morning. My name is Nat Hutley. I'm the CEO of ShipNext. And it's my pleasure to introduce you today our business. With only a 4-minute video, I think it's going to be best if I just jump straight into the platform so I can explain to you what's going on. Now, in the shipping market, there are a series of emails. Really, there are 3 main types of emails. There's the location of a vessel, the location of a cargo, or an order. That's someone who wants to rent a vessel for a period of time. Now, I was a shipbroker with Clarksons, and we would read roughly 4,000 to 5,000 emails per day. Alexander Vavarenko, who started this business in 2016, realized that with natural language processing, he can drive huge efficiencies and profitability in his successful shipping company. We've now started to push that out to other clients. And from November to December, our daily returning users doubled. From December to January, we doubled again. We have found clear product market fit. And I'd like to take the next few minutes just to run you through a couple of the features of the platform. As you might have seen on the left-hand side, these are orders that are coming in real time. These are emails which are being decrypted by our parser. And we've got to about 97% efficiency for all of our emails. So if we take this cargo here, which is cocoa beans, which has come in a few seconds ago, this is the email here, which has been decrypted by our parser. And we've turned this into what we call structured data. Now, on the other side, these are the available vessels that can reach that location for this size. Now, previously, this was all done on emails and brokers had to remember all of this information. There was also the high chance of fraud. So we're addressing, again, just another thing that we're able to do, seeing as we're processing these 40,000 emails, we're able to verify that against satellite data to check that this vessel is in this location. So ShipNext, after doing all of this, we realized that we can create an ecosystem interconnecting these different parties. We can draw different efficiencies. So here, a freight rate calculator, just a single click, we're able to pull all of the information from the vessel and all of the information from the cargo and automatically do the routing. We're selecting where the vessel is going to be bunkering from. In this case, perhaps Gibraltar or somewhere like that where it's cheaper. Not just that, it's a place where you can contact the brokers straight away, ask for a freight rate calculation. Now, the things that are spinning off that are our list of features here. So we've got the fleet monitor. This was heavily requested from ship-owning clients of ours who wanted to see where all of the vessels are in the world. But more than that, they wanted to perhaps see where their competitors are. If you imagine a cargo coming from East Coast South America, for example, if you know that there's an excess of vessels or perhaps a shortage of vessels, then as a charterer or as a ship owner, this is massively valuable information. And that's what our clients are saying. In the fourth quarter of last year, we had 0% customer churn. We're looking for $4.5 million to really fire this business into the next category. It's a super short presentation. As you can see, we're only really just scratching the surface of what we're doing with documents and bills of lading and ports and other things like that, you know, and how valuable this is to our customers. And we'd love to take you through it in more detail. And yeah, please reach out, and thank you very much for listening. And I look forward to speaking to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
That is.
Do you think Aftership is poised to be exactly what you guys are doing?
Beg your pardon?
Aftership, which has been around for a while now, do you think they're not doing the same thing, at least from a B2B proposition that they have? I'm just trying to understand, because there is a player that's a clear competition, and I'm just trying to understand your positioning as against Aftership.
Yeah, I'm quite frankly, I'm not familiar with them. We see our three main competitors being Access Marine, Signal, and ShipFix. I believe we probably do a different thing. I will be looking up the name of the company there. What's it called?
Aftership. AFTR, Aftership.
Aftership.
Probably we can take that.
Yeah, I think we can. Yeah, I mean, it's not a good conversation for an open forum, but we could have a chat.
Yeah, so I think probably just looking at their website now, I think that often, and this is really probably one of the key things about shipping, is that people often, DHL containers and small things like that are often seen as the shipping market. We're talking about bulk shipments. So this would be bulk cargoes of steel, iron ore, grains, pulses. It's a completely different beast. It's a completely different market. It's not something that would go via a container or go via air freight.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Okay, thanks, Nat. I think we need to take more questions in the chat or probably do one-on-ones. Okay, here's Octonius from Spain. And
hi, everyone. My name is Cosmin. I am one of the founders of Octonius. Octonius is a work management platform. It improves the operational efficiencies of organizations and teams. It brings together knowledge, projects, resource management, and internal communication. Everything in one place. This is what we would call a single source of truth for your company. Our mission is to help our customers deliver excellence. Our promise is to securely bring people together, connect them with a shared purpose, and sustain high performance. That's what we are trying to achieve. Now let's talk about how Octonius is structured and what is the ingredient, or what are the ingredients of our work management platform. I would say Octonius has 4 pillars for the changing nature of. The first pillar is work management. We try to give high visibility on who is doing what and when. We help people work in a more asynchronous way and reduce stress. The second pillar is goal system and portfolio. We try to focus on giving a purpose to people and quickly organize teams on the activities that bring value. The third pillar is focusing on personal work and progress. Help each employee see and prioritize the work that matters. Offer a more tailored, a more personal experience of work that fulfills personal needs. You can easily see what's important for you today, what you need to focus on first time when you go to the office, and so on. And the last pillar is internal communication. Share corporate news and empower teams to visually communicate in a more personalized way with Octonius stories and blogging apps. So by doing this, we provide kind of like a social network for your organization. It lives inside your company. It lets people communicate, engage, and become, a better team, basically. Octonius helps organizations deal with obstacles on achieving their targets. It brings your teams and partners together. It offers simplicity, ease of use, and transparency in task and project. It supports your teams in focusing on what matters every day. Our platform is also safe and cyber attack resilient. Put a lot of effort in focusing on privacy and security. Also, Octonius helps you manage and communicate with your distributed teams digitally and efficiently. It supports leaders in monitoring and acting on bottlenecks and performance issues, and facilitates efficiency boost. Now, according to our customer surveys, these are some of the immediate benefits they gain by using Octonius. And we're talking here about organizations with anything between 1,000 and 7,000. 3 hours less per day bouncing through emails, chat, and other tools for each. An average of 8 days per month more time for value-adding tasks. At least 40% increased productivity and collaboration. A minimum 60% increase in team happiness. And increased knowledge and best practices sharing. This is something that helps on any level or on every level of the organization. It's easier to access information. It's easier to communicate with your peers. It's easier to ask and provide feedback. Our customers are mid and large enterprises from various industries: financial services, bank, healthcare, automotive, industrial engineering, governmental, and so on.
Okay, so that was Octonius. Unfortunately, Cosmin could not join because of some emergency, but please post your questions in the chat so that I can take those questions with him and let you know. The next presentation, Securely, we have Stanley from California. Thanks to Stanley for being awake so late, but yeah, here we go.
Hello, my name is Stanley Lee from Securely Limited. Our vision is to restore trust in organizations with data science in the industry of cybersecurity. To understand our use of data science, we must first understand the problems. When company needs to manage GRC, governance, risk, and compliance, and the cyber risk, they must work with governance and technical controls. In one corner, there are the governors working hard to manage the increasing regulations, organizational objectives, referred as governance controls. On the other corner, the technologist needs to manage the cyber attacks with a 3 million shortage of cybersecurity professionals and all those operational solutions in their environment, refer them as technical controls. In the middle, there are the executives who needs to manage the rising costs and growing concern with the enterprise risk for the regulators, stockholders, and board of directors. Meanwhile, the cyber war costs billions of dollars from ransomware attacks, regulations, penalties, recovery costs, and reputational damages. So how do we start to mitigate all this cyber risk and the enterprise risk? Why do we still have such a problem when there are over 3,800 of other solutions out there? How securely can turn your investment into a 10x to 30x return on investment with our product and offerings? With great pleasure, let me introduce you to Securely's Cyber Risk Governance System, or CRG system. Our CRG system has 3 core products to capture 4 revenue streams with 3 simple questions for the clients to start the process. The system is a modular design for scalability for clients and ourselves to grow while we maintain profitability, plus an ecosystem to allow regional service providers to be our resellers in a franchise model, while we enhance our data science to offer preventive intelligence to global partners and clients. Our system is like the GPS for the GRC. And with your investment and advanced data science, we will advance our system into an auto-guidance system to win the cyber war. We all know the amount of investment pouring into cybersecurity industry. But many of those solution providers doesn't understand what are the triggers for the client to buy their solution. We believe picture is more than 1,000 words. We start with Sarah to aggregate all the governance and technical controls into a single dashboard, Unity, then integrated the regional blockchain data lake to add another layer of data privacy and data sovereignty, and wrap them together with machine learning for scalability. Sarah is a low-cost door opener with 35% profit margin. Then we upsell with our 15 building block solutions for the subscription fee revenue. In addition, we'll gain the augmented intelligence from the stakeholders' input to continue to increase the barrier of entry. These data will enable our franchise model to allow the telecom, data centers, and cloud service provider to offer CRG system to their existing client. These 4 revenue streams can duplicate easily to each new vertical or geographic market with the adoption of local governance requirements and a localized data lake with customized blockchain. then selling the preventive intelligence from our data lake to streamline the process for our partners across the world. The only way to improve cybersecurity and cyber resilience is automation with data science. We have proven for a client that our system has decreased over 90% of security incidents in 12 months. And we need your support to continue our cyber risk governance systems to win this cyber war together. My name is Stanley Lee from Securely Limited, and looking forward to demonstrating to you all the details. Thank you very much.
Okay, we should have really interesting question for Stanley because he's calling from California. It is almost 1:30 there.
I think, Stanley, thanks for wonderful presentation. Actually, from my point of view, you have really covered the revenue stream which I was looking for, and that has come out really well. And this is what, as a finance guy, I would like to really see. What are your revenue streams? When are you actually getting into the break-even mode? So that's really wonderful. I think I will connect separately for certain questions around the market sizing and how are you actually looking at some of the GTM structure.
Great, thank you, Reggie.
Thanks a lot, Ranjit. We also have question in chat, Stanley. But yeah, any other question? Quick question for now.
Okay, I would just like to connect more and find out more because I just dropped in and saw his cybersecurity one, and that could be quite interesting.
Thank you, William.
Thank you, William.
Okay, if there are no further questions, then I'll move on to Arrow Entertainment, which is helping with the celebrity retail. And here we go.
Hi, everyone. I'm here to speak about a new retail concept, celebrity retail. More than 400 million fans in China consume international entertainment content, but few international celebrities are active here. Product is at the center of our conversation between celebrities and their fans. Gen Z in China is the wealthiest generation in history in terms of aggregate spending power, but they can't confidently buy the products that they want when they want them through the sales channels that they're used to. Today, Arrow sources celebrity brands and entertainment merchandise, and we distribute the products to fans in China. China is a large and untapped market for international celebrity brands. All celebrity brands and merchandise start with an inbuilt consumer base. We sign exclusive distribution and media agreements directly with the celebrities. We manage the entire media and retail funnel for the celebrity, and access to our core target market, the fans of these celebrities, is free. Arrow is the only company in the world founded and structured to support this opportunity. Arrow has a team of experts in retail, media, and entertainment. I manage the commercial side of the business. I've worked and lived in China for 15 years, and I recently led the development and monetization of Walmart's multi-billion-dollar social commerce platform in China. We've signed partnerships to support rapid scaling. UTA is one of the world's leading talent management agencies. Crown is a global logistics solutions provider, and EC Max is the #1 operations partner for JD.com. As for traction, these past 6 months, we closed our first 3 celebrity retail deals. Our first celebrity partner is Paris Hilton. Paris's businesses have generated over $4 billion over the last 10 years. She has one of the largest Weibo followings of any international celebrity in China, and she's spinning up new China socials right now. We are the exclusive distributor in China for her fragrance, the world's #1 selling celebrity fragrance of all time. We also represent her upcoming apparel line in China and Asia. Our agreement with Paris is open to expand across other categories as well. Our second distribution deal is with Ace Universe. Ace creates fan-driven events that offer unparalleled access to celebrities. Ace Universe also sources merchandise hand-signed by the world's most famous celebrities and athletes. Arrow is the exclusive distributor for signed memorabilia in China and Asia. We're also extremely excited to share that Arrow will distribute the new fragrance by Billie Eilish. Billie is a #1 selling musician and artist. She's the voice of her generation, and Billie starts her 2022 concert tour right now. Arrow is the exclusive distribution partner for Billie's fragrance in China, the world's fastest growing fragrance market. Aero is also leading celebrity brands into the future. We will launch our first chip products in 2022. We have a vision to build the headless commerce infrastructure to support scaled celebrity retail selling in China and Asia. Think Shopify plus LVMH for celebrities. Every journey begins with your first step. $350,000 allows us to accelerate Paris, Ace, and Billie Eilish, and to onboard other celebrities in our pipeline. The funding at this stage is split evenly between product, technology, and operations. With your support, we can bring fans the content and products that they love from the people that inspire them on a daily basis. Thank you.
Okay, this is from Aero Entertainment, and we have Ted on the call.
Hey, guys.
Ted, just a small clarification question here. So basically, if I understand it right, so are you looking at sourcing these products and then list on Ali and Jingdongs, or are you going to be creating your own infrastructure of actually marketing and distributing it?
At this stage, we just leverage the existing infrastructure in China. So we're exclusive importers of the product. And we distribute through established retail and sales channels. But our desire is to build our own platform.
So which means you're predominantly an importer of this licensed product, which are exclusively sold through your network, right? Is that correct understanding?
Yes, that's correct. We also have media agreements with the celebrities as well.
Got it.
Okay. Any other question? Again, if you are excited about celebrity retail and NFT space, then you should definitely connect with Ted and have further discussions. The next presentation is Dreamhouse, and here we go.
Hello, I'm John Watley, the CEO of Dreamhouse. We're a living as a service company. I'm happy to tell you about what we do. So our problem that we're looking to solve is for renters on one hand. You have people who are moving to these new cities around the world that are super expensive, or they're just super unaffordable in general. They've already put out different life expectancy items, so they haven't married, they haven't been able to buy a car or a first house or whatnot, and they're looking to be renters for the rest of their lives. They're looking to also be comfortable when they get there, or hyper flexible. So we're looking at the gig economy, and we're also looking at people who are using these applications like Uber and Instacart to push on demand for different services, enhancing that and bringing it into one space. In terms of like the owner, on the other hand, he's looking at how do I get inside of this thing that's been like the co-working and the co-living trends that are booming across the world. How can I get a piece of that pie? And they're learning that we need a brand to do that, because people identify really easily with these brands and they move and work with them a bit faster. They also offer more reliability when they have a brand that they're able to work under. And real estate has evolved to be this way around the world, really. And it's going to evolve to be more than other industries as well. So our solution, Dreamhouse, allows for people to come into their units and be really flexible, the most flexible you ever could with any apartment. So flexibility in terms of your lease. So you can, like, after a month, drop your lease, add a new one. You can move to different locations month to month, or just with a certain amount of notice. You can also use the technology to track what you use and what you buy within the units, add and take away whatever you need from your lease terms. So you can add different services, and we're doing it all through the Dream app, which is our cultural experience for the user. There's also a bit of in-unit and out-of-unit entertainment and events for them, community events. So you're never really a stranger in a new city. Property management-wise, the landlords are able to control what is offered within this building and which vendors in the neighborhood are able to be pushed demand for different services. So for maintenance and for cleaning, the landlord himself is deciding which vendors are there to do what. We have an integrated software called Domovoy that we'll work with to also integrate both those ideas together and make it easier for both the landlord and for the tenant to track themselves, but also to make different service requests within the unit. That's unique to them. So our product is very easy to launch. We have an engagement team. It comes out in 3 different steps. The first step is just getting to the building, meeting the landlord, and integrating it. And it takes 2 minutes to 2 weeks, depending on the size of the building. So Domovoy, as I mentioned, our phase 2 item, it's a smart mirror that we install into the units, and it's able to use facial recognition to make purchases within the unit, but also within stores that participate with us. And a bit on that in the Q&A, I hope. So our revenue model right now is we do revenue shares with landlords themselves. We have take master leases or ownership, and we offer a Dream Club subscription. So even if you don't live with us, you can also take part in the Domovoy or the events experiences that we offer. Our market size is a $500 billion market, 642 million budget and serviceable online market, and a 250 million, so 5% of that market, 250 million is what we're looking to take over right now. Our competition, Airbnb, Marriott, and WeLive, either they do offer software or they don't offer software, but they don't offer the same things we do typically. And our traction so far, 2.1% increase in yield. When you convert to our smart spaces, 19.9% NOI, but when you add our events, that's actually 30%. 500,000 monthly recurring revenue for Hong Kong, and 2,000 signups and 10 partners within the market. Our team is based out of the US and Hong Kong, with guys with about 30 to 40 years of experience, with like Class A advisors as well in the blue. We've won a bunch of awards for what we've done so far, and we're looking forward to doing more in the near future. Thank you. I'm John Watley again.
Okay, question 3.
Pankaj, I just want to know what's the key unfair advantage of dream houses. Maybe can you articulate it? I heard his presentation was good. However, I need to know what's the unfair advantage for people to get excited. Thank you.
Okay, I'll have to take that question with John, William, and then come back to you. But yeah, these were the 15 startups that we presented today. Again, thanks to everybody for joining the call. What I would love to do now is, we are not ending. Don't hang up the call yet. What we would like to do now is, I would love to request our jury members to give their viewpoints on the startups. Probably you can talk about 1 or 2 startups that really intrigued you, right? Or that made you excited, curious, and so on and so forth. Please go ahead. Who would like to start first?
Stephanie, I can start first.
Go ahead.
Right. Yes, there was actually 2 startups that are quite interesting, especially AsiaPods, the integration with all these avatars. I really liked, and I would like to understand a little bit more in terms of like, how is this applicable also without the Chinese language I have seen. So is it also working very well in English? Because I believe there's a pretty big market for it. What I also like a lot is the energy and IoT platform around Faraday, because it's also very prominent problems that opens a lot of door into like large corporates in terms of like their ESG story and how do they track and bring sustainability forward. So that's also something I'm very, very interested. Apart from that, I have to say I learned really a lot today, and there were super interesting startups there. Some of them, it was not very clear on the value proposition as well. I think that can be worked on. But overall, it was very good. Very, very good.
Thanks a lot, Stefan. And you know that we would love to work with Capgemini, right? You know that. So we'll figure that out later. Okay, who wants to go next? Mohit?
Yeah, I can. I was impressed by one and all. This is an excellent cohort. I can't be thankful enough for being here. I was pretty impressed by Simpler, not just by the team, but by the fact that I mean, in today's world, they're really solving for very, very traditional problems down in the roots of traditional distribution in Southeast Asia, and I've been in those really, really remote markets, and the problems are super real, and to solve them using tech is really interesting. And mind you, the people out there in the boonies, they know how to use tech. So that's if that's not a great product market fit, I don't know what is. So that's really, really interesting. One of the other ones which was super interesting was Pico. Really analyze the toxicity in online gaming is something which is really needed. But I'm curious of the product market fit there, because I'm not sure if you really want to go sell to the gaming community there, I'm not sure how interested they would be to have something which tells the community that, look, you are being monitored for what you're saying, and we want to keep this place clean. Whereas online gaming it gives you that anonymity, that space to be not yourself, who you are in the real world. So there are interesting challenges like that, and the concept of Ipsity, that's really interesting. But I think there's something something more for them to solve for, especially if they're looking at emerging markets where the volumes can be huge, but of course the fees that they can make is probably lesser per transaction. The regulatory framework is something that I would be interesting to talk about with them. Thanks.
Fantastic, Mohit. Really appreciate your feedback. I could see Petra was smiling when you mentioned about Speako. I know that you're from the TMT sector, so you could probably guide Bill and team a lot. So thanks a lot for that. Okay, who is next? Ranjit? Yeah, please go ahead.
Thanks. I think this has been great experience for me to see how there are different products and the problems that you guys are solving. I think all the presentations were really great. There's some of the startup which I think that have really they're really solving the problem which Mohit had already mentioned about Simpler, which I think I would definitely like to understand a little more on the overall business and revenue generation. But I think Simpler has been really I think the real problem what they're solving is coming out clearly in the presentation. In fact we saw I have mentioned that they're also they have their own differentiation. So I think I need to understand how they are definitely going to go ahead on that, and that's why I said Nishita, I want to understand in detail. I think Ipsity Network, the one thing which I really liked is they talked about the market sizing, which I didn't see in many of some of the presentations. I think some of you talked about it, but the market sizing is very important. They also mentioned about SaaS model. Some of you also mentioned about SaaS model. I think Speako. So and then I think security is what I really liked, how they're solving cybersecurity issues. And I know there are many players in this, but would like to understand with more detail. I think we'll connect on that. Aero is definitely, I think that's great. I would love to see how we can discuss on that. I think more or less this is what I have to say. I think this is really great learning for me on the tech side. I know you all understand technology very well, and then you know what problem you're solving. From my side, I would just like to understand how the revenue is generated, how much time it takes for you to break even, and what's the dilution if somebody invests.
Thanks a lot, Ranjit. Really appreciate your comments. Samir?
Thanks, Pankaj. I think this was a good, really good 2 hours that we spent. I heard some really good pitches. Some were really creative. I looked at it more from what they were offering and how they went about presenting it. I think to me that was very important because that's a critical element of pitching in the experiences that I've had. Of course, there are questions around, how much is needed, what's the dilution plan, what are you going to do with the money? But some good value propositions that I saw, really, I mean, Petra's again going to smile, was Speako, because I see that as not only from a gaming perspective, I see that being translated in some other industries. I can think of use cases. I really would love to understand a little more about it. What I didn't find was, what I didn't get to hear is clearly how they would go about, investment is one thing, but how they would go about generating revenue, because I'm seeing what's being presented from a 300K to a jump of about 10 times 3 million. So there's something happening there which I'm not able to see. I would love to understand that. ShipNext was good. It was clear their segmentation is very different. So, they're in the right place. I think that those are some inputs that I have, from people who presented. VSOAR is a very good model. There clearly has a market. I think Simpler is quite good as well. Would like to understand that. Those were things that I can recall. Asia bots, while there is really a good potential there, I still think that they need to collect their. They need to probably look at industry focus. If they can do that, it would get them to generate revenue fairly quickly rather than spread themselves very thin. So those are some of my thoughts that I can share today. But happy to have further conversations. And good job, Pankaj, for setting this really good.
Thanks a lot, Samir. Really appreciate it. Okay, so we have a poll on your screen. Please respond to that as quickly as possible. And last but not the least, I would love to hear comments from Sankalp. Please, Sankalp, go ahead. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah, sorry. I was just closing the window of the polls. I think, first of all, thank you very much for having me over. It really opened my mind to see so many different areas being explored and so many different, ways in which I have tried to leverage technology to a different level altogether. It's a little unfair to just call out a couple of them because I'm sure in a 4 minutes elevator speech, how much can you achieve and how much can you deliver? But it's all about creating that impact in that shorter space and shorter period of time. So I think, to my mind, I think there were a few which really excited me. But there are other few as well where I would want to know more before giving any kind of a comment on them. But I think specifically the ones which I'm very clear about or which I would want to know more or explore more is definitely Spico, which is again very similar to everyone's this thing. While gaming is one area, and I think that's going to become bigger and bigger, and I think it's interesting to see about how they have plans to take that agenda forward. Faraday was something that really excited me, given that sustainability and the CSG goals and the whole world is going to wake up in like 2 years from now, and there's a lot of traction that's going to be coming up. I somehow still didn't understand the exact value proposition, but I think it's an interesting space to watch out and interesting space to get into. A lot of companies are wanting to talk about and track sustainability, and therefore I think it's an interesting space. Again, the third piece that stood out for me was ShipNext. Quite a large opportunity with it when it comes to managing the whole network and managing the whole segments and in today's complex cost inflationary environment. I think it will be interesting to see about how they manage to do business in this environment and yet be profitable. So I think that's something that I would want to know more and learn more about. Yeah, I think this is, but I think nevertheless, the other names that I did not take doesn't mean that obviously they did not excite or something like that, but there are further value proposition sharpening that one could do to bring out the story clearly.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Sankalp. Really appreciate all the jury members' time and drinking a cocktail from this fire hose and providing your comments. It's really, really exciting, and thanks for your comment. Obviously, as an ecosystem, we are growing, but we cannot grow further without community support, without investor support, without corporate partner support, and so on and so forth. So if you want to connect with the startups on one-on-one basis, please let us know. Please connect with the startups on LinkedIn, or you have our email IDs, Madhu's email IDs. If you want to co-invest with Home, again, please talk to us. If you want to mentor these startups, help them with the pilots, or introduce them with your colleagues in the organization, please let us know, right? Again, thanks everybody. Special thanks to judges again for your feedback and spending 2 hours with us. Thanks to the audience, and special thanks to the startups as well, because you worked really, really hard in making these 4-minute speeches. And again, you cannot communicate all the message in 4 minutes, but you tried really hard. So thanks for that. Thanks everybody. Please stay in touch and let's connect offline to take this collaboration forward. Thank you.
Best of luck to all the startups. I hope you achieve your dreams. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All the best, yeah, really.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.